Mic check 1 2 1 2. The dogs in the building. The big dogs in the building. I got Aniah Rose in this shit with me, man. I got Compy in this shit with me, man. You know the vibes, man. We got a special guest in the building. Aniah Rose.
Hey.
Tell me a little bit about your brand.
Ooh, Aniah Rose. She's different. She's different.
It's good to be different.
It is. Not to be corny or anything, but when you think of a rose,
right,
you think of how beautiful it is, right?
Very.
But then you look at the stem and you see it has thorns, right? Mm-hmm. You can't just pick up the rose and just everything. You might get pricked.
Yeah, definitely gonna get pricked.
With Aniah Rose, you may see the exterior. Beautiful girl. I'm confident.
Right.
Beautiful girl, but I come with a lot of pain. I come with some suffering, past suffering. But this girl, she's different. You can't just pick her up and just think you can
just do whatever.
Just do whatever.
Yeah. And there's only one.
There's only one.
Yeah. So you got a pop-up shop coming up at HQ.
Yeah.
You excited?
I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
I wanted to do this for like so long, but I procrastinated a little bit.
Is it your first pop-up shop?
It's my first.
Yeah, I remember. So I work with a clothing brand too, and the first pop-up shop is always like it's an eye-opening experience.
Really?
How do you usually do business? Like online?
Yeah.
Like people hit you up, they see what you got, you post what you got, and they'll be like, "Oh, can I get that?" And then
yep, I always get DMs or on Facebook, someone hitting me up for anything with their brand.
Yeah, it's a beautiful tool.
It is.
It's a beautiful tool. I love Facebook. People always talk about Instagram, but I think Facebook is the money platform.
You think?
You make more money off Instagram?
Yeah.
I make way more. Well, I also got like a studio too, so it's like, I don't know. Maybe I just don't use Instagram as much. Maybe it's me.
I did some research. It didn't seem like you were using it a lot.
No, I didn't. I don't really use it. I use Facebook. Facebook's my preferred platform.
Got you.
I feel like it's what I like about it is the share capability.
Okay.
But I mean, on Instagram you could share on your story. I didn't know that. But on Facebook, when like people like share your posts, I feel like it's more effective. Yeah,
and sometimes like if there's a video or something, you can like see under the video how many views it gets. Even if you have like 1,000 followers, you end up getting like 12,000 just views just alone
on Facebook, right?
Yeah,
because the way the algorithm, it works differently.
See, Instagram, and I heard that the algorithm changed again.
They're always changing.
I'm not rocking with it.
Yeah, that's why I can't do Insta. I feel like Instagram is like you need to take like a course. Like you need to go to college for Instagram.
Right.
Yeah, I mean Facebook is just more accessible in my opinion.
That is true. I've seen a lot of people become viral on Facebook.
Right? It's easy.
Yeah.
I think it's because of the share button. That's what I think it is. But the pop-up shop experience, like when you do your first pop-up shop, it's like your first time you get to, really like interact with people and people who, because on social media you usually like are friends with the people already, or you know what I mean, they're adding you for that purpose. But like if you do the pop-up shop at HQ, you're gonna get people walking by and you're gonna see how they're reacting to your stuff. It gives you like a deeper understanding of your customer base. Right. You know what I mean? That's a very valuable data. You got to be able to like when you look at these people and they're looking at your clothes and you're like, all right, so these middle-aged white women tend to like the flowered stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're like the young black women tend to like the whatever stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's all stuff you got to keep in your mental log.
And you kind of got to talk to them too. Like, look, this would look great on you. You know, like even if you kind of lying.
Yeah, sometimes, but salesmanship. It's a skill everybody should have.
Seriously.
Yeah, salesmanship. You gotta learn how to what's the word I'm looking for? How to, sell things to people. You know what I mean? It works with everything. It's not even just business.
You should be able to pick up a pencil and be able to sell it.
Yeah, that's a fact. I like that. I like that mindset.
Yeah.
You should be able to pick up a pencil and sell it. I almost said it too.
Right.
A piece of pencil. That'd be even more impressive if you could sell a piece of pencil.
Right.
You're like, yo, this pencil is special. It's a special piece of this pencil.
You know this wood? The wood that went into this piece of pencil?
The wood that went into this piece of pencil, the trees are extinct. They only grow in one part of the world.
I'm saying though.
Here, hold it. Oh, it looks so good in your hand.
Oh my gosh.
Doesn't it feel good? Write with it.
Look at it in the light though.
Yeah, write your name with it. You see how smooth the pencil rides across the paper?
I'm a right-handy, but I'm using my left.
yeah, this pencil allows you to use whichever hand you want. This special pencil. No, that's a fact though. Yeah, I mean, speak on, before we started, we were talking about, being a female entrepreneur. Speak on that experience.
So this is actually really new to me. I started modeling in 2017, but when it came to work, I'm very tenacious. Is that the
tedious?
No, tenacity. Yeah, tenacious. Yeah. I am the granddaughter of Roy and Josette, Roy's Caribbean Restaurant. On Henry Johnson.
I'm a supporter. I'm an avid supporter.
I love to hear it. No, I grew up literally in that restaurant, and they came from Jamaica with nothing and started that restaurant. And 30 years later, I did their books, and they're doing great.
Yeah,
okay?
I already know.
They're doing great, and just seeing that alone, it had me thinking, nah, I can't be just working for somebody for the rest of my life. I gotta get on something. Mm-hmm. So modeling started because it was just something I always got the comment, are you a model? And I'm like, no, like I like books and I like freaking sports and stuff like that.
You do both.
True. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm an accountant and I'm a modelpreneur. So
yeah, modeling. So like when you first got into modeling, like, tell me a little bit about that. Like, what was your first experience of modeling?
What was my first? So I had it started with a fashion show. One of my friends, she knew her sister models and was having a fashion show. And I was thinking about it. She knew I was. So she's like, you'd be great. All you got to do is walk for her. She'll let you in. And I did it. The fashion show was great, actually. Like, really, it was really fun. And I never did one before.
Right.
And I actually got a photographer that hit me up after that and said, yo, like, I need to shoot you.
Yeah, let's work.
Just like, oh, okay. Like, I guess.
It's weird, right?
It's weird.
It's weird.
So we shot together, and not to be corny, but the rest was history. The amount of the feedback that I got off of just taking these pictures, and I had no clue what I was doing. I'm like, nah, I think I found what I need to do. And at first it turned into at first it was something that I was like, I'm just doing to see what I can get out of it.
Just getting your foot in the door.
Just getting my foot in the door. Now the door is wide open.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here.
You want to shout out your photographer too, by the way?
Yes, Mark Davis Photography. He's my man. He's the one that made it all happen for me.
Shout out to Mark Davis Photography, man.
Mark Davis.
Yeah, so you start shooting with Mark, and now you're doing the modeling thing. Tell me how that turned into the clothing brand.
So I started doing my research on how to make money off of doing modeling. So finding an agency was the number one thing that I wanted to do. So I started taking a few more pictures. Mark was very, very generous in how much time he spent with me, how much advice he gave me. Right. And eventually I had a good 10 photos to go show an agency. Albany Talent and Modeling. I think they're in Saratoga. Yeah, Albany Talent and Model. I went there and showed them my pictures, said, what do you think? And they're like, we'll put you on our page. He actually gave me some comments that I felt a little discouraged, said I was a little too big, could lose some weight in the thighs. And I'm like, oh man, okay. So I didn't think it was going to really go anywhere. But I think even he was surprised. I got a lot of gigs off of that.
Yeah.
My biggest one actually was the Department of Health. I got a gig at it to be in an ad, and that was about a year and a half ago, and I'm still seeing it today. It'll show up on Facebook, it'll show up on Snapchat. One of my friends who was also in that same photo shoot, his got on an actual CDTA bus.
Oh, that's fire.
Right. So
I know his haters mad every time they gotta get on the bus. They gotta see his face.
Right.
He on the bus looking at him when they're paying their fare. He looking, look at me. That's a fact.
So yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Being with that agency made me think, oh, so I can go even bigger.
Yeah.
And I eventually I walked in New York Fashion Week. Due to my dearest friend, Ilana, model and friend. She got me in New York Fashion Week and Atlantic City Fashion Week, and I did those both last year.
That's fire experience. Yeah. Traveling across the world, modeling, strutting.
I got into publishing 2 magazines. I'm out here. I'm working because I'm nowhere near where I want to be. So.
Yeah. Well, the road's never ending.
It's not.
When you're on paths like this, like businesses and, modeling, which is kind of like an art and a business, the road never ends. Like, and if you see the road ending, you have to find a way to make it longer. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can never be complacent. You can never be satisfied. You can never get comfortable. You always got to be pushing yourself to, be better and to go further. And like when that dude, when the dude said what he said, like, oh, it's just not going to go far. You got to do this, do that, and the third. Like when life hits you with rejection, that is an opportunity to better yourself.
Definitely.
Rejection is just when I see rejection in whatever form, it's just like, okay, let me find out why that happened. Okay, that happened. Now what can I do to make sure it doesn't happen again? And that in turn makes me a better person. So that might have been your blessing.
Absolutely. To be honest, hearing that, I love my body. I'm, slim thick.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, modeling in the modeling world, they don't like that. They want you to be really, really skinny, size 2, and obviously we've seen that this has changed a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. I see you changing a little bit.
It's still to its traditional ways, but there's so many people trying to create other avenues for people. There's people who are born with defects. They're now a modeling agency for people with defects. Yeah. So we're changing a lot. Don't get me wrong.
And they get like you see the what's the vitiligo? Mm-hmm. You see a lot of models with vitiligo. Mm-hmm. Yep. And I was just like, also like Instagram and working with like your own photographers and now like the accessibility of high quality equipment. I feel like that's kind of like taking some of the power out of that. Right. The modeling agency. So where like maybe before it would have been hard for you to get high quality photos. Now you can hit your boy Mark up and he's gonna get you right. Right. And you could be like, look, these photos is fire.
Oh, crazy part is your own phone can do that now.
Yeah, your phone is high quality photos.
Yeah, that's why I actually upgraded to the 11 Pro before 12 came out. It's always something new coming out, but I upgraded literally for that, to take better pictures, to
take high quality pictures, and just like because I take pictures too. You see, I got some nice cameras. You know what I'm saying? I got some kind of nice cameras. But with photos, it's all about like angling and lighting. Right. So like with your phone, even if you're not going to use those as your like professional photos, you can like practice different ways that your body might look the best poses, or play with like lighting in your house or your room and see like where the light shines the best on you to accentuate your Right. But that's smart. That's smart. You gotta always find ways to be able to build on your craft.
And nowadays, so many people want to be alike that it's like you want to be different, and that's what I'm trying to do so bad. I just want to be different from the rest. I'm not trying to be like literally everyone else, but it is harder. It takes more time with that because obviously you gotta pave your own road. You gotta pave your own road. So yeah.
But you might be paving the road for somebody else.
That's true.
There might be little girls out there looking up to you who might have the same type of body build or same type of look. And they're like, she did it. Now I could do it.
That's funny that you say that because can I tell you about what I'm trying to do?
Yeah, of course.
Nothing is like set in stone, but exactly what you said, those little girls who want to know that they can do this too. I want to start a workshop. Not even just for modeling, but for anybody, female or male, who get scared in front of the camera. Yeah. I want to, show them how to get loose. Just be okay with who you are. And that'll be coming shortly. Rose Petal Academy.
Okay, Rose Petal Academy. I got a little sister. She plays basketball. She's pretty good. And I always try to get her to take pictures and stuff because, like, I know that, like, part of getting to the next level in sports is like your personal branding as well. Like they want you to be good at the sport, they want you to have good grades, but like if you have a good personal brand also, that's gonna help you. Those colleges want to sell tickets, So I'm always trying to get her to take pictures, but she's always she's always shy and nervous, and she's always, and I'm just like, you look good. Come on, I got you. Big bro got you. Well, maybe she needs to go to Rose Petal Academy.
Maybe she do.
Yeah, I'm gonna hook it up. But so just how long have you been selling clothes?
Well, technically, it's my own clothes. You know this, right?
Yeah, you make them.
No.
What do you mean?
They're my clothes.
Oh yeah. But still, you're still selling clothes. Yeah. HQ, we have we get hype beast stuff. Vlone Supreme.
Definitely seen that.
Yeah, the hype beast stuff, and then we'll get vintage stuff too. We'll get worn sports jerseys or old.
I didn't know you guys do vintage too.
Yeah, we do vintage too. So, that's a big market actually. Vintage is one of our main sellers.
Oh, okay.
It's one of our main sellers, and people vintage has a big following, especially out here.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people who have their own little vintage boutiques, and and they're really into the vintage clothes. They'll hit me up yo, what you guys got in the store vintage? And I'll we got a whole rack dedicated to it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I gotta look closer.
Yeah. So tell me about your
So, it's a little mix of everything. Okay.
Right.
So, I am, when it comes to being a model, especially a freelance model, you kind of make your own photo shoots, meaning you buy your own clothes, shoes, accessories. So a lot of those things I have worn once and never again. For the photo shoot, never again.
Right.
So when I tell you the
amount of clothes,
the versatility in those clothing, it's going to be funny. But I love that I'm doing it. It's even different sizes too. Sometimes I'm I don't know what I was doing with this. But some still have tags on them. So it's going to be interesting.
There's going to be a lot of things that come out the shop.
Yeah.
And how does being tied into the fashion world help you? Does it give you a deeper understanding of what's in, what's popping, what the styles are?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I can be very transparent. Before I graduated from college, my fashion sense wasn't so great. I think modeling actually helped it.
Yeah.
Modeling and money, because I was a broke college student.
Money. Yeah. Money helps a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Money cures all things.
Trust me, I was looking like I was getting paid after college. I was like, okay, this is fine. So that also is why I have so many clothes now. But my fashion sense, I felt like I could finally be me because there wasn't a well, obviously I want, name brand stuff.
Right.
But I don't splurge too much.
Yeah.
I'm not into the huge name brands right now. If you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it, sweetie.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's how I go. So, but my fashion sense, modeling made it so much better. Researching, just seeing magazines, all that.
Yeah. The fashion world goes deep. I'm actually I just started investing into my fashion too. Because before I didn't really care. I'm more focused on I'm more of a goal oriented person. So when I get things like this, get this going, he'll tell you when we're in build the podcast mode, the time we were for a week straight, that's the only thing we were doing. Every day we're waking up and calling yo, what are we gonna do today? Let's go get this lights, let's go get these cameras, let's go get this TV, let's go.
That's how you gotta do it. A little bit goes a long way too.
Yeah, for sure. But then the same thing with the fashion is once you dive into it, I can already tell you're kind of similar in that sense. Okay, if I'm going to dive into this, I'm going to dive into this. You know what I mean? You're going deep down. And what's some of your, where do you find your greatest inspirations?
Greatest inspirations. It's definitely Instagram. And I hate how much I look at Instagram and the Instagram models and the celebrities. But I can be honest, that's where I get majority of my inspo from.
Yeah, well, it's work though.
Yeah,
it's work.
That's true.
It's work. You got nothing to be ashamed about. You're doing research.
Of course, my mother too. My mother was a big fashionista, so
yeah,
a lot of she gives me a lot of her hand me downs.
So it was you said it was your grandparents who started Roy's, or your parents, your grandparents?
My grandparents. Yep.
So talk a little bit about because I'm big into entrepreneurship, and I've been going to Roy's because I'm from Albany, so I've been going to Roy's since I was a kid. And what was it like just growing up and just watching them run their own business and being around that environment?
you know, when I like while it was happening, I don't think I realized what like
It was normal.
the experience. It was so normal. Actually, I couldn't stand it. It would be my mom is a nurse, so she was a young mom, so she was going to school. So my grandmother had me like all the time,
Right.
and I would have to go to Roy's at 6-7 a.m. and stay there all the way till closing.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes if you came in there, I could have been in the corner doing something. That was my life. But then eventually, when it was appropriate for me to actually work, it would be me alone in a restaurant with maybe 2 cooks in the back, and I eventually started working all day, every day. It took over my life. After school, I would go right to the restaurant and work. And again, I really didn't. At that time, I think I could say I was a little ungrateful, not realizing.
Well, you just didn't realize you didn't realize what you were, that's what kind of part of being a kid is.
But normal kids were going home and playing, or when I was a teenager, girls 16, 17 was partying and stuff. I never did any of that until I got into college, which was 18, 19.
Right.
So it took me a long time to realize the blessing that was right in front of me. And that's actually why I got into accounting, because for some reason, money and numbers was easy for me.
Yeah.
So
you grew up around a business.
I grew up around a business. So it helped me so much shape who I am now. So I'll forever be blessed.
Yeah, that's one of my dreams, is to be able to like have a business that can support like the generations after me, and that my kids can take over, and then their kids can take over, and like, I mean, leave an everlasting mark on the community and people's lives. Like, just think about all the people that ate there and that know about it. Right. You know what I mean?
You know how many times, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I don't even like saying it, because it'll be like, what? Like, some free food. You know Roy? Yeah, I know him. Like,
yeah, no, I grew up going to Roy's for my whole life. Roy's, and I mean, that one's been there the longest, and then they opened up the Hot Spot and Erie Vibes, but Roy's is always the go-to, man. My pops used to take me there all the time, because it's right there on it's right there. Like, I'm literally from like right around the corner from Roy's. Like,
really?
Yeah, like Lexington. You know, Lexington, Lexington and Sherman, basically. Yeah. But so I grew up like literally right around the corner from Roy's. Yeah, Roy's, my pops. We always stop there.
Yeah, get you a patty.
Get you a beef patty. I like jerk chicken.
Oh, jerk chicken's my favorite.
One of the things I like about Jamaican spots is that when you order like a medium, that joint is big. You order a medium.
I mean, for the money you paying,
you get $14.
You get a lot of food.
You can feed you and 2 small children.
Right.
Oh, right. I like the plantains too. Plantains is my favorite.
Jerk chicken with plantains. What? My ideal meal is jerk chicken, white rice, plantains with some oxtail gravy. Boy,
the blood of Jesus.
The blood of Jesus.
I'm not gonna front. I prefer the rice with the beans, though.
I do too. Not with jerk chicken though. For some reason, it's too much. Too much. Like,
too much going on.
I feel like it adds to the spice of the jerk chicken. And I'm like, whoa.
What I like about the jerk chicken is the intensity. The intensity of you eating the jerk chicken.
You had the wings too?
I just get I think it's like a breast maybe. It's like one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like one bone in there, and there's just like meat all on it. Might be a thigh.
Might be the leg quarter. Yeah.
That's what I use.
Or leg quarters, yeah.
It'll be like a leg and one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the intensity, like, you gotta have a sweat rag with that.
And that's why plantains are a must.
Yeah.
A must.
What do they do? Does it like kind of like take the edge off the
spiciness?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does?
It works perfect.
I've kind of figured that, but I never really knew
the science behind it.
Yeah, I never knew the science behind it. I know milk will take the edge off the spice, but I just go in there. When I get in there, I get ready.
Do not drink no milk with jerk chicken, please.
Never. Okay. I don't even like drinking milk. Okay. I don't even like drinking milk. But yeah, we got pull up her Instagram and stuff. We didn't even look at Instagram. We've just been so immersed in conversation.
That's good though, right?
Yeah, that's perfect. All right, so this is the flyer. Pull up the HQ at Lark 225 Lark Street, Sunday, December 13th. Go back to the flyer.
Don't forget those masks.
Yeah, don't forget your masks. we keep it sanitized up in there. All right, okay. These are pictures. Did your boy take those pictures too?
He actually didn't. That was in the city. Someone found me off of Instagram, off of a hashtag. I felt so accomplished when he told me that.
That might be what Instagram is good for. Instagram might be better for connecting like models. All these pictures are fire.
Thank you. It's kind of off balance because I'm not done with I do 3.
You do 3s at a time, yeah.
So it's kind of off.
You got it down to a science.
Yeah.
Got it down to a science. Oh, pull up the one with the Corvette. What is that? Not a Corvette, a Charger.
Yeah. Funny part is that was not my car, but my outfit went perfect with him. I was like, please.
Let me take a picture with that car. So, are any of these outfits going to be available? These are your special ones.
I was about to say I don't think so because these are definitely outfits that I like.
Yeah,
that stay with me.
Obviously, those are fire though. The Instagram's
you.
fire. Pull up the Facebook. Add it on Facebook, man. So where do you prefer people hit you up on? Like if they're contacting you for clothes?
Instagram,
that's your preferred social media. Yeah. But earlier you mentioned something about like liking sports. Did you play sports when you grew up?
Oh my gosh, I played so many sports.
Yeah,
that it's kind of sad. Unfortunately, I didn't get a scholarship at first in college for sport, but then I ended up getting a track and field scholarship.
Yeah, so that's what you like, track and field?
I love track and field, and I'm a cheerleader.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a sport. So
I'm not saying I'm not gonna, I don't. My sister cheerled too. I'm not knocking it.
Okay, cool.
I took a cheerleader to prom. I was shout out to the cheerleader. But yeah. So what's your favorite like activity in the track and field? Like, what'd you do?
Oh, I was a sprinter.
You're a sprinter.
I was mean.
Was your
100
yards?
Yeah. Don't ask me for no record.
I don't even know what the numbers would mean. I don't even know what it would mean. But I think sports are important for our development, especially like business-minded people, because you got to face adversity.
Yep.
You got to be humbled,
and you got to know how to work as a team. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Definitely as a business owner.
Yeah.
Because it's not gonna. Maybe right now it'll be just you, but eventually, if you want growth, it's gonna be more than just you.
You need partners. All my businesses have partners. It's one of my partners in there. It's one of my partners right there. HQ, we have a couple partners. You know what I mean? Teamwork makes the dream work.
Okay.
Yeah, but so how do you think the track and field affected your mindset?
Well, you're gonna laugh at this, and it's okay to laugh. Track actually literally affected my mindset because in college I ended up getting a concussion
from track and field.
Well, there's a couple injuries I've gotten from track and field. Don't let anyone ever tell you can't get hurt in track and field.
Nah, I can believe it. If you fall and you sprinting, you fall, you tumble.
Yeah,
you smack your head.
I hit my head really hard, and I didn't really take it. That was like my junior or senior year. After that, I was like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I used to get concussions. I played the football. I wrestled. I was a good wrestler. I was the concussion king. I still feel it. My brain frizzled a little bit.
Where did you go to school? Am I allowed to ask you questions?
Yeah, for sure. I went to school. I went to Columbia High School.
Columbia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where'd you go?
Catholic Central.
Where's that at? Is that
Troy?
It's in Troy.
Mm-hmm.
So were you guys section 2? Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
So in wrestling, this is the way it worked in wrestling. All right, so I was in the state finals for wrestling, right? And the podium, it's like kind of the same as track and field. You got first. I ended up getting second. I lost my point. We're not gonna talk about that. So it's first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, seventh, eighth. So if a Catholic kid placed, right, they would take 2 pictures. It'd be let's say the Catholic kid won states, right? And you're in the state finals. I went to the state finals. Say I lost to the Catholic kid. I'd be a state runner-up and a state champ.
What?
I know, it's weird, right? So they would take one picture with like the Catholic kid as number first, and then they take another picture where everybody else has moved up a position.
Wow. Wait, why did they do that?
I don't know why. I think because Catholic school had like a separate states too. I think they did nationals. I think they did nationals because we used to go and wrestle a Catholic school in the city. I forget their name, but I think the Catholic schools had their own nationals.
Okay, it makes sense.
Yeah, but the private schools, they didn't do it with the private schools though.
Mm.
Catholic Central, I think my little cousins went there. What's the uniform color?
Purple.
Yeah, my little cousins went there. But then he switched to Troy High to play football.
Yeah, because Catholic Central.
Is it small?
Their sports wasn't so great. Anybody knows that one.
I never really we never competed against them. So
the funny part is I competed against Columbia High in cheerleading.
Like there's like cheerleading competitions?
Yeah.
What year did you graduate?
2017. Oh wait, whoa. 2013.
Yo, I graduated 2013 too.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I swear to God.
Oh.
2013. I was in state finals 2012 though.
Oh wow.
So you competed against Columbia in cheerleading. Let me think. Yeah. You probably knew the girl who took the prom.
I didn't know any of them.
So what was the cheerleading competitions like?
It's just a whole bunch of girls and
flipping
and it's such a long day, but I actually really miss them. It's a lot of bonding time with your team.
Yeah.
But then you go on the mat for like a minute and then that's it for the rest of the day.
Yeah, it's a lot of trust because you got to throw them up in the air and catch them. And
I was that girl. I threw girls up in the air.
You threw them up in the
air. Okay.
I threw people up in the air too, but I didn't catch them.
Oh yeah.
I didn't catch them. If I threw you up in the air, you're coming down hard. You're coming down. That was like my signature. They tried to stand up. I'd grab them and it always broke them. Oh. But the competition was like, that's what I loved about and then you kind of can relate in track and field because it's like you and obviously you're running and it's a team sport. Like you guys help each other train and stuff and support each other, but the competition comes down to you versus your opponent, and it's the same thing in wrestling. But like when I think back and think back on my rivals and stuff, like the kids who were like who pushed me and stuff, those are some of the purest relationships I've ever had in life because it's like you're being completely honest with each other and the fact that I want to beat you.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, did you have anybody who was like, you guys are always like splitting, like you might beat her one week and she might beat you at the next meet?
I really didn't have that.
You were smoking them all?
No, I won't say all that. Who knows who would watch this and be like, no, she didn't.
No, she didn't. Nah, keeping it real with my rivals. I'm like, man, I remember that time you beat me. And I'm like, remember that time I dropped you on your head, though, in front of your whole team?
Like, wow.
Yeah, but it's pure still, though, because it's part of our development. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's part of our development. And it's part of, like, who makes us who we are.
Do you think that's what Nate Robinson said?
When he got knocked out.
Knocked the hell out.
I think he was doing that for a money grab.
You think?
I think so. Because
that was a cold knockout. I don't know if that was.
No, he probably didn't think he was going to get knocked out like that.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying he did the fight for a money grab. So I think.
Oh, yeah.
So I think he didn't really care about getting knocked out because, like, from, boxing is a one-on-one sport and, like, it's kind of can relate to wrestling. And it's that, like, if I'm going to, like, a tournament that I care about, it's like, you're gonna train hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're like, it's humiliating. Like, you know what I mean? He probably didn't understand, like, because he comes from basketball and it's like a team sport and he's lost in basketball before, but it's not the same when you lose in basketball and you lose in boxing. Because it's like everybody's looking at you like, you just got knocked out. Look at you.
Yeah.
Look at you. Yeah, you got knocked the fuck out. Look at you. Look at you. They're memeing him. He's laying on the floor. Yeah. He's laying everywhere. It's humiliating.
The fight, he didn't even get up and there was already memes. Like, that's what the internet is so quick.
I love you, internet. Listen, the internet, look at me. Never change. Never change.
So quick.
Yeah, that's a fact, bro. But, it is what it is, man. He got knocked out. He got knocked out. And now Floyd's fighting his Jake's older brother.
Yeah, when is that?
I don't know. I think it's December 20. What is it? Something 23rd, I think. I don't think it's December 23rd, but Floyd could just step up. But something about those Paul boys, they were actually good wrestlers out of Michigan. Like, they were actually like the older one got 5th in states, which is kind of an accomplishment because Michigan's a pretty good state.
Right.
So like they're not no slouches. You know what I mean? They're not just like regular YouTubers.
Yeah.
Because there's a big difference between like you know, somebody who's just a YouTuber and they've never competed in combat sports than somebody who's wrestled and like has kind of that experience, compared to even somebody who's an athlete but played like basketball, where it's like we're not, you know what I mean? We're like balling, we're trying to shoot, but you're not like trying to kill each other, you know what I mean? So I don't know. He's gonna lose, but you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he looks pretty good. Those dudes, people don't give those dudes credit for how tough they are.
Right.
Because you got to be tough to wrestle or even go out there and fight.
I could never.
I don't know. You think that though? It just takes the time. It takes the time, especially someone like you. All the journeys you've embarked on, and all the things you set out to do and accomplished. Don't you think you can do anything?
You know, that's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes though, it's hard to see through the, you know, the smoke.
What do you mean?
Because it's like, I think we all can say in this room that we've gone through something, didn't think we could even get through that, and here we are today, probably not even thinking about it. But when you're in that, like, that fog, it's very, very hard to see anything else. Yeah.
It's cold and dark, but you know what though? There's always a light at the end of the tunnel.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's always a light at the end of the tunnel, and what people, you know, the more you do it, right? Like the more things you set out to do, and you're in that fog, and you're it's like the unknown. You don't know what's coming next. You don't know what's around the corner. The more times you conquer that monster, the stronger you'll become for the next time you do it. It's like, I've been here before. It's like, you know what I mean? This isn't new to me. Yeah. I'm not just in the darkness. I know there's light somewhere. I just got to find it. And the more you do it, the more you believe in yourself. Like, no, I figured it out that time. So this time I'll figure it out. I know I'll figure it out. It might be hard. It might be cold, but I know I can get through it because I've done it before. That's what people got to understand. And, you know, even if you got to start small, like, you know, when you started modeling, you got your foot in the door, and then one thing led to another. Then one thing led to another. Then one thing led to another. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, it's not as intimidating as it would seem on the surface when you're actually in it. Because that darkness also, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? It also, like, even though you can't see what's coming next, that's a good thing and a bad thing. You see what I'm saying? Because, you know, you don't see the pitfalls. You just see what's right in front of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't see all the bad things that can happen unless it happens to you. But even when you're in that, then you just figure it out. Like, the worst part about getting a shot is the anticipation.
Right.
You know what I mean? But when you're in the dark, there ain't no anticipation. You see what I'm saying? Like imagine you just sitting in the nurse's office. Yeah, the lights turn on. The lights turn back on. You got a needle in you. You're like, oh, that wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But when they come in and they're like cleaning the needle,
right,
and they're taking the thing off and they're squirting liquid out, and then they take the alcohol. You can smell the alcohol.
Right.
They rub it on your skin. It's cold. And then they're like, okay, are you ready? Are you ready for this?
Like, just get it over with, bro.
It's the worst. You see what I'm saying?
I get it.
But when you're in the unknown and you're in the dark, you don't know what's coming up. But when it comes, you just deal with it.
Yeah.
So, you know, it can be a bit overwhelming, but if you can find comfort in anything, find comfort in that.
Very
that
true.
You were built to be a conqueror.
Very true.
And with that being said, man, pull up our Instagram one more time. This is a great pod. Pull up the HQ. December 13th, Sunday.
It's going down.
It's going down. Aniah Rose pop-up shop. Get all your drip. The exquisite drip. Wear what the models wear.
Okay.
Okay. All right. That being said, man, we out. You guys have a great day, great night whenever you're watching this. Be safe. We love you. You're great. You were destined to conquer anything you set out to conquer. And we out.